On today's video, I'm bringing you guys along for a journey of rebuilding and some potentially questionable playing. Well, hey there kids, it's your good buddy Uncle Ben, and I have just taken, I think, my longest break ever from playing guitar. And that's because for the last 9 days, myself and my wife and my wife's family have been down in lovely Mexico to visit my sister-in-law. Mexico is freaking awesome, guys. I had an incredible time. The food, the architecture, the music, the weather, everything was seriously mind-blowingly great. We did all kinds of awesome stuff while we were down there, like scope out some Mayan ruins, check out a lucha libre match, which was ridiculously fun, drink a ton of mezcal, and just generally explore all the cool stuff that Mexico City had to offer. So I've just taken 8 days away from playing the guitar, which I know doesn't really sound like that much, but for me, considering that, you know, my entire life is devoted to playing guitar, this is like a huge break for me. I literally don't know the last time I took this much time away from picking up a guitar. So why am I making this video where I'm going to pick up a guitar for the first time in so long and play really badly for you guys? That's a good question. I think a lot of people watching, you know, YouTube guitar channels think that their favorite dudes that they watch just wake up and, you know, piss excellence every time the camera is on, but I know, at least for me, that is not the case whatsoever. Guitar playing is tough and it takes a lot of work, and especially certain techniques require a lot of upkeep. Yeah, I'm interested to see what it's gonna sound like, and I think it's just also good for everybody to know that, yeah, that's how it is for everybody. So on today's video, I'm gonna plug this lovely Paul Reed Smith Hollowbody here into the Axe FX3, noodle around, see what I now suddenly suck at, and also try to give you guys some ideas about how I might recover my shred powers. As always, this video is brought to you guys by everybody who supports my channel over on my Patreon page at patreon.com/BenEllerGuitars. Sign up today. Even for just $1 a month, you're gonna get access to a ton of vlogs, bonus videos, downloadable tabs, all kinds of good stuff. This week, everybody who supports my channel gets access to an extra super long cut of this video, so be sure to sign up today. Thanks. Here in Logic, I've loaded up a drone track for me to play over. This is one of the drone tracks that I made that are downloadable to my Patreon community. And if you're in full support of middle-aged dude kneecaps, be sure to like this video and subscribe. not as bad as I was suspecting. Obviously, you know, nothing in there is screaming perfection or artistic brilliance or anything. I'm just kind of noodling around here, but it could be worse. Okay, so what I was talking about earlier, there's certain things that just seem to stick with me, and I have my own ideas as for why, and then there's other things that definitely fade a lot faster. The alternate picking stuff. I was trying to do a couple, you know, kind of Paul Gilberty things in there for you. God, that's the stuff that fades the fastest for me. I noticed that whenever I take a break and come back to alternate picking stuff, my picking motions generally have more of that string hopping thing going on, where my pick strokes are very like kind of V-shaped. It's kind of like my picking becomes more plucky if I don't stay on top of it. Whereas if I've really practiced my alternate picking stuff a lot, my pick strokes are a lot straighter. That's okay. But this is actually not as bad as I was anticipating. And this is one of the good things about taking breaks from playing. I think a lot of times people think they have to do that thing where they drill something for 12 hours a day, every single day for years on end in order to get it. Sometimes I find what happens is that if I take a break from playing and then I pick it back up again and just have fun with it like I am with you guys right now, sometimes I will manage to forget about what's supposed to be difficult for me, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like if I'm, you know, really grinding away on stuff day in and day out, and I'm like, oh, here's this thing that I suck at, here's this thing that's hard for me to do or whatever. It almost becomes this like self-fulfilling prophecy where you're like, oh yeah, here comes the thing that I dread doing, and guess what, I messed it up. But whenever I spend time away from the guitar, sometimes I forget about what's supposed to be hard for me to do. So I'll just pick it up and go for it, and suddenly there it is. A lot of times if I can just dive right back into it without overthinking stuff, which is very hard for me to do, that's what ends up happening. So sometimes if you're having trouble with something in particular, the best thing you can do, rather than bang your head against the wall and just do it and do it and do it until you're blue in the face, sometimes the best thing you can do is actually just to step back, forget about how hard it is to do, and then just dive in head first without thinking about it. It's pretty interesting. So as for how I'm going to recover some of that alternate picking stuff, what I'm not going to do is practice runs that go up and down through all the strings. That's too much for me right now, especially considering I'm trying to rebuild that straight angled picking I was talking about and ditch the curvy stuff that I'm kind of falling into right now. Like you can probably see it if I try to play straight through a scale. Oh man, that blows. So what I'm gonna do to try to get those picking angles like really straight like I like them to be is just to practice some one string stuff. I'm just gonna run some drills like that, just on a one string. This isn't too challenging of a tempo for me, but it's allowing me to really concentrate on those pick strokes and getting my hands really good and in sync again. The pauses are there to allow me to reevaluate my physicality here and see if I'm tensing anything up. A break from playing and picking it back up is the perfect time to build new bad habits, unfortunately. So this is the time where I'm probably gonna accidentally start building up some tension or some like weird thumb movement or something like that. But whenever I take these little breaks, whenever I pause inside a lick like that, that's me running like a quick scan of my arms and everything to make sure I'm not tensing anything up, even like all the way up into my shoulders and my neck. So I feel my shoulder is coming forward a little bit there. Again, this is the great thing about playing with those breaks and you're playing. Let's try this again here. Okay, so 150 BPM, and I'm gonna play one of my favorite exercises that has me start to go across the strings. This is one I cannot take credit for. Credit for this one goes to my main man and the incredible guitar player, Emil Wurstler. Emil rules. He's an incredible player and a great friend who has taught me so much. Verlorener is Emil's solo project. Stop this video, listen to that record, come back and finish this video. Seriously, it's incredible stuff. Emil showed me this exercise that I still use to this day that's like one of his favorite pre-show kind of warm-ups. It's based on the chromatic thing, but it's all based in speed bursts, and you're doing this. Then you go across the strings. On that high E, I get so tense sometimes. That's one of the things I find whenever I take a break from playing for a while is like, sometimes I feel like my pick is kind of like just sort of grabbing both sides of the high E like this rather than like passing through it cleanly. Sometimes it feels like it's just kind of skating around the top of the string for some reason. Maybe I should just kind of isolate just that string a little bit. I'm all about sitting down and practicing with metronome and playing exercises and stuff like what I've been doing here. That's great, especially when you're kind of recovering. But one thing that I find that really helps me out whenever I just need to get my chops back and stuff fast is just to play along with some songs. The forward momentum of a song makes my brain just move forward always. It doesn't let me have time to sit there and analyze what I'm doing or try it again 100 times until I get it right. The song is going whether you're with it or not. And that I find that really helps me keep from overthinking and getting in my own way whenever I'm recovering my chops. So I have a handful of songs that I like to play that feature a lot of that are just really, really fast, and I kind of have to like hang on for dear life in order to play them. Songs like, well, Holy Wars by Megadeth. Like all that stuff in that tune. All those riffs, spider riffs and stuff in there. That's a really great one to play through to help me warm back up. Damage Incorporated by Metallica. That's one of those ones that has so many long bursts of 16th notes. It's again great for that tension building thing that I was talking about. I use every one of those pauses as a way to notice if I'm building up tension. That's a really fun one to play. Same with Battery by Metallica. That's one that I always put on. Honestly, basically anything off Master of Puppets. Like I'll usually just turn on Puppets and I'll play the title track, I'll play Battery. If I'm feeling good and warmed up, I'll attempt this Disposable Heroes. Good God, that is an endurance test. Whatever that riff is right there. That is an endurance test from hell, so I'll probably play that one. Effin' Hostile by Pantera. That's another one. That has a lot of 16th note stuff. I'll probably do some improvising, and that will kind of help me regain my mental and physical capabilities a little bit more better, I hope. Trying to focus on the things that I'm really struggling with, so I'll work on those, in my case today, those top two strings a lot. I'll do a lot of improvising on just those two strings. I get some jam tracks and stuff. I really love here on YouTube, I love Quist for backing tracks, I love Mega backing tracks, and I love Elevated backing tracks. That guy's channel is really cool. I just found his recently. He's got a lot of really good stuff. So try those three channels out. We all put our pants on, you know, one leg at a time, as they say, and we all get our chops back one string at a time. So don't worry about it if you struggle with like that recovery period when you've not been playing for a while. Everybody does. And we all just got to get through it. But thankfully, that's the fun part because we play guitar, right? We don't work guitar. So even whenever I am going through these periods of recovery, hell, it's still fun. I enjoy it like as an athletic challenge, you know? It's not a creative challenge or anything. It's an athletic challenge is the way that I look at it. And that's fun for me. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, got some insights and stuff out of it. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, sign up for Patreon, all that stuff you can do to help support the channel. Follow me on Instagram at Ben Eller Guitars. That's more than one guitar because there's more than one guitar over there. Ben Eller Guitars on Instagram. Keep up with me on there. Let's click it. More picking.